Hey, hello, virtual and real fitters, and welcome to Friday afternoon top tips for you to keep you fit and well forever. So this is good habits that you can adapt and bring in, and also really well for forever, and you can spread the word as well. Tell everybody about this. So I'm going to talk during February about gut health, your microbiome that pretty much, from what I'm reading so far, controls everything. You've got to keep your gut and your microbes happy. If you're happy, then all good things are going to happen as well. You're going to be able to maintain your weight, lose weight as well. There's evidence as well, strong evidence, that having a good gut bacteria leads to weight loss. It also has a stomach to brain. There's a connection there as well. Lots of evidence on that. Helps with immunity, helps with fighting infection, and just helps with overall health if you have a well-balanced microbe. And I'm going to talk a lot about this, as I said, throughout February, and just give you little hints and tips of what you can do to start making your microbe very, very healthy. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about prebiotics. Prebiotics are basically things that you can ingest that can feed the bacteria that's already in here. So it's like little treats for your bacteria and your microbes in your tummy. So let's start with fibre. Fibre is helpful, very helpful. We're told that all the time, from me. You probably read about it, you probably see it on the internet, your GP's told you, blah, blah, blah. Loads of people tell you how helpful fibre is. This is keeping your gut bacteria in very good health. So it's your gut bacteria that want that fibre. So feeding them, so what you give them is called prebiotics. So this is what your bacteria feed on, is pre. So don't get mixed up with the pre and the pro. Pre is like the fertilizer, is the food that you give your bacteria in there. And of course, they need the right type of food to thrive on and to do their job. So they need that. So prebiotics is like a special type of plant fiber. So this is from plants. So the more type and variety of plants, so that's your veg, your fruit, your salad, etc. The more variety that you have, the better it's going to be for your gut microbe, all those bacteria in your tummy. So there's special type of plant fibre which your body can't digest. And if it can't digest it, this is what encourages the growth of good bacteria in your gut. So we want the type of fibre that your body can't digest, because your bacteria will thrive on that. The good gut bacteria turn the prebiotic fibre into chemicals. So the good bacteria in you will take this fibre that your body can't digest and will turn it into a chemical called butyrate. And I'm not going to get too sciencey on you, because that's a bit beyond me as well. But it turns it into a good chemical called butyrate. And this controls our gut wall cells and can protect you against bowel cancer. It is has powerful anti-inflammatory effects, which is really interesting. There's not just butyrate, there's lots and lots of other chemicals that your bacteria in your gut will thrive on and work with, but this one I'm just going to talk about is butyrate. So we don't want persistently inflamed guts. This is obviously painful. It can lead to bloating, gas, constipation, and can eventually lead to bowel cancer. I'm saying that. So that's why we need to make sure that we're eating fibre that your gut really, really wants. So as I said, prebiotics is a bit like fertilizer, boosting the growth of your good bacteria. Let's go through those. Let's see so you can have a little checklist to see if you're eating these types of foods and which ones you can introduce. Some of them are a little bit more extreme, and some of them I'd love to get my hands on. And if you know where you can, let me know. Okay, this one I'm going to see if I can pronounce it. Okay, inulin. When I first saw it, I thought insulin. No, it's inulin. So this is the best known prebiotic. So yeah, sure, you can get prebiotics from all plants, but some have more concentration, higher concentrations of inulin. And these are onions, leeks and garlic. I think we can probably safely say most of us eat those every week. Chicory and dandelion greens, which is a salad. And in fact, we just had, not knowingly, but I had a big packet of organic salad leaves, or mixed ones, that came in my Riverford box yesterday, and we just had that for lunch. And I was like, yeah, that's chicory, that's dandelion greens. So boom, check for me. Now this next one, this is one I'd love to get my hands on. This one, Jerusalem artichokes. I love them, but they're so difficult to find. So I'm on a search for a Jerusalem artichoke. They are, if you've seen them, they're like little, like they can be about that big. I've seen them long and thin. They're like knobbly potatoes. They look like knobbly potatoes, but they've got a really distinct taste. They are lovely. We've had them again in our Riverford box, but not for a while actually. Okay, next one, asparagus. So this is a good form of inulin, which is going to help keep that gut lining on tip-top condition. And then the final one, bananas. So that one's probably an easier one. That has modest amounts of inulin, not condensed like the previous ones I mentioned. So onions, leeks, garlic, chicory, dandelion greens, that's your salad, mixed salad, Jerusalem artichokes, asparagus and bananas. Okay, let's go on to the next area. So that is called resistant starch. So, or RS in brackets. This is a type of starch, as the name implies, that resists digestion in your stomach and small intestine and reaches your colon largely intact. So I don't want to get too gross, but basically it goes through your system. The colon is the last bit in your body before it comes out the other end. So this food travels through your system to your colon pretty much intact. So as the word states, resistant, it's resistant to the acids in your tummy, it's resistant to all the churning and the moving and all the stuff that, you know, going through all the small intestines, which can be meters and meters long, and it arrives in your colon pretty much unintact, so it's resistant. I'm just going to turn, I am reading from a sheet, I just want to make sure that I cover everything. So let me just sticky tape that up there. So this feeds on the good bacteria in your colon, digests and turn it into butyrate. Again, we've got a bit of a theme going on here, which reduces inflammation and strengthens the gut wall, as we've just said. So what is RS? So what is our resistant starch? This is things like your grains, your seeds, legumes, which is our beans and nuts, unripe bananas, and green peas, just to name a few. So plenty of grains, making sure that they are as natural as possible. So, you know, don't think, oh, I'm going to have a piece of bread that's got my grains in, because more than likely, you know, that's gone through a huge process to get to that bread. So as natural as possible. Seeds, legumes, your beans, your nuts, unripe bananas, not sure about that one, and green peas. So which ones are those that we had this week? Give yourself a big tick if you've had some of those. Other sources of fibre, not RS, but other sources, barley, oats, flax seeds, apples and seaweed. I've actually, this week, I have purchased a huge bag, it's like a kilo of flax seeds. A, because my daughter and I don't eat meat, and I just want to make sure that we're getting our B12 vitamin, but also because I know it's so healthy for your gut. Your little bacteria in your gut do like flax seeds. Okay, so that's prebiotics. That is what your bacteria in your tummy feed on. It's the fertilizer, and what makes them strong. It protects you against your gut against inflammation, and it protects the gut lining, which is what we want. Probiotics. We're still on prebiotics. We're now on probiotics. Probiotics, as opposed to prebiotics, which are like fertilizers for your biome. Probiotics are the live bacteria or the yeast that you eat to give you more, to give variety and to give more bacteria to your gut. So you've got your prebiotics, which is the fertilizer. You've got your probiotics, where you're adding more into your system. And it's not as easy as just saying, oh, I'll eat that and I'll have more bacteria. It is quite a challenge for those bacteria to get into the right place to do their job. So to reach the colon alive, which you know it's got to get past your acid in your stomach, it's got to go all through the intestines, it's got to go through, you know, it's pounding, it's got to go through all of the gastric juices, and it's got a long way. We know that the small intestines are pretty long, a long way, so it's got to arrive in your colon alive. They've got to arrive alive. It is a big, big task. So if you're picking probiotics that are not man enough for the job, there's no point. There's no point. You might as well go straight for the good source. So there's lots of types of probiotics out there. I know lots of supermarkets, lots of suppliers are talking about probiotics, you know, buy this, it's a probiotic, get this, it's a probiotic, you know, there's lots and lots of choices out there. But let's talk about the ones that are really, really good, that you can get right now at your supermarket and not have to spend a lot of money on it. So yeah, there's lots of hype about probiotics, lots of supplements as well. Don't go for the supplements. Only a few have a decent science behind them, unless you have a particular gut condition that you're trying to treat. So unless you've been told, don't forget, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. So if your doctor, nutritionist, dietitian has told you to avoid or to take a supplement probiotic, that's fine. But if you're just, you know, the regular person like me, then there's no need to take supplements and extra things. So unless you have a particular condition that you're trying to treat, topping up your good levels of bacteria mostly will come from food. Okay, let's go through these foods. So probiotics, adding more bacteria, strong bacteria, got all that way to go to get down to your colon, is what we need. First one, yogurt. Yogurt, but it's not just any yogurt. Don't go over to your supermarket now and pick up a low-fat added sugar that will have no probiotics in it. The best form, and I've never tried this before, tell me if you have, I'd be really interested to hear, tell me if you have, but make your own yogurt. I know, I think, yeah, my brother, he's got a yogurt machine and he's made his own yogurt, and I think it's, from what I understand, it's fairly straightforward, but I've never done that. What you want to do, if you're buying your yogurt off a shelf at the supermarket, you want it to be live with cultures and you want it full fat. So no need, there is no evidence to show that full versus low fat yogurt, the full fat is not going to give you heart problems, not going to raise your cholesterol. In fact, there's evidence to show that it does the opposite. So there's no need to get that low fat, unless, of course, you've been told by your dietitian, nutrition GP to be on a low fat diet. There's no reason. So as I said, don't think that sugary low fat versions of yogurt will help. It certainly won't. So you want yogurt that's live, had active cultures, and can help conditions such as antibiotic associated diarrhea. It can help with IBS. It can help reduce constipation. But please, before you start adding this, do chat with your GP if you are concerned. I'm not a GP, remember. This is me just giving you friendly advice, stuff that I've read about, just to people that want to really boost their microbiome rather than treating a particular problem. Okay, yogurt first one. Second one, cheese. Full fat is better again. If you think about, say, France, for example, they, as a nation, consume the most cheese on the planet. I think it's about 20 kilos per person per year, which is 20 kilos. That's like, well, yeah, that's a third of me, just a bit. So 20 kilos per year. And they have very low levels of heart disease and obesity. So full fat cheese is not going to contribute to heart disease and obesity. Obviously, you've got to eat it in moderation. If you eat it loads and more, that's different. But not all cheeses contain live bacteria. Processed cheeses have none. But look on the labels. Look on the labels. Things that are particularly good. Gouda, mozzarella, cheddar, cottage cheese, boom. And all blue cheeses, but as I said, read the labels and see that it has got those cultures in it. Feta cheese is also another great one as well. Just a little point there, if you are lactose intolerant, feta cheese has lactose in, so be careful with that. And these are all good bacteria for anti-inflammatory compounds. So they help with anti-inflammatory as well as giving your microbiome a lot more happy bacteria. Okay, the new thing now is fermented foods. Of course, they've been going for, years, decades, whatever, a long, long time, fermented foods. But there seems to be a lot more of it about. So, sauerkraut, kefir, and kimchi. From this week, I've had 2 of those, sauerkraut and kimchi. And I've bought this week, I'm sort of now I'm learning so much more about pre and probiotics. Sort of getting all these different crazy things. So I bought some kefir powder this week, or I don't actually know what it looks like inside, a kefir packet to make my own. So fermented foods has become increasingly popular, adds flavour, adds texture, but be very careful now. This is something that I wasn't sure about. If it's pasteurised, obviously that's been heated to a high temperature, which will kill off all the bacteria. So be careful if you are buying sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, that it hasn't been pasteurised. So again, check the packaging. These contain huge numbers of different microbes and far more likely to make it safely to your colon, as they are very resistant to acid. But start slowly. If you're introducing these foods this week, don't have kefir 3 times a day and sauerkraut 4 times a day. Just be very, very cautious and add it in gradually. It's not going to do you any harm, but I don't want anybody getting an upset stomach or overdoing it or anything like that. And then finally, the next one is apple cider vinegar. And doing a little bit of research on that, you can get it in little capsules if you want, or you can just have a tablespoon a day, and that is super as well. Okay, that's me over and out. You can see I've got a little bit of passion about this. Here I am, telling you all this information about gut health. I seriously believe, and from the more I read, it just gives us overall health. If your tummy, if your microbes, your bacteria are happy, then everything else is going to be happy. Okay, I'm going to talk more about this for the rest of the month. Yay! Of course, give me your feedback as well. Tell me what you're eating from that list. Tell me what you might be purchasing on Amazon this weekend from that list, or anywhere else. Obviously there's other places you can get it. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. All right, that's me over and out. Have a great afternoon. Sun is shining. Yay! Bye, team.